Hello, I'm Vadani Ariam. This video is all about how to focus your child on learning. When you are running a home school or when you are working from home, it is dress for success. It is obvious that you will not like to dress up all the time. You might get up late and have a cup of coffee and try to run the school in your night clothes. That is not, whatever happens, that is not right. That will not inspire a child to work hard. So the best thing is to dress up. You don't have to dress up the way you go out to schools or go outside to work or anything like that. Just change your clothes into normal, casual, normal clothes, and also make sure that kids are also changing their clothes. Get ready as if they have to have a feeling as if they are going to a school. Once you have got ready yourself, take them to your classroom, home classroom. As a teacher and a parent, you need to create the best impression for your kids so that they will take things seriously. Of course, you do not have to dress up. I have told you the way you go out. When you and your child get dressed to start the day in the classroom, gives respect to your classroom. You can't just walk into your classroom in your night clothes or like that. You don't want to do that. You want to pay respect to your classroom, to go to dress up and change yourself and change your personality and everything. Then it is obvious the both of you will take lessons seriously, as dressing up lifts the mood for studies. When you dress up, it will lift the mood for studies as well. Avoid distractions. When people are working from home, they get all sorts of distractions from the family and things like that. In the same way, it can apply to you. Therefore, you have to select a room in your house which nobody can easily walk in without asking your permission, because it's a home school. And nobody can come and knock on the door. You don't want anybody to knock on the door, because you can put a notice on the door that the home school is on. So you don't want anybody else to disturb you at that time when you are teaching the kids. It is not like teaching in a school that it will take only half the time of the school time, because you don't have any distractions like in the school. So you can just continue to teach in one go and finish off. So you have to make sure that you are not receiving any distractions. On the other hand, there might be people coming and knocking the outside door as well. So there also you have to put a notice to say that homeschool is on, so that people will not distract you unless something emergency like a postman want to give you a letter or something like that. And also, during the time the post comes and things like that, you can just pre-plan your lessons, less distractive lessons. I mean, you don't need kids to concentrate so much. You can just play groups or something like that. You just do that. You don't expect during that little time, you don't expect the kids to have 100% concentration, because it is a sort of a play time for the kids as well. So you have the experience. You know what sort of distractions you will get. So you have to plan yourself to avoid all that, so that the kids will not get disturbed unnecessarily. Program your teaching times. Say, for example, you start your school at 9 o'clock. Your home school, you can start later, and it's not like the school. Home school, you can start at any time, but it has to be fixed. So the children will know we have to go to school at this time. So they can get up late even, but they have to know your time. So you have to fix a time from 9 to, say, you are running your school from 9 to 12. It has to be 9 to 12 every day. And you have to schedule your work program between 9 and 12. The lessons will have to be between 9 and 12. But bearing in mind, you cannot focus only on the time. You have to make sure that there are some exceptions. Sometimes there are some things, exceptions will be there. You might have to extend your time, or you might have to change your time. So that you will have to. So when you are starting the school, when you are starting the lessons, you should have spoken about these things with your kids so that the kids will remember, or write notes and timetable and everything and put it on your walls in the classroom itself, so they can remind themselves at times. So it will be better. That is what I said. There could be instances that you might have to change the program without advance notice. So you just tell them, this has happened, I have spoken to you all about these things, I have to do this. But remember, that is the advantage of homeschooling. This is the advantage of schooling. You can change your time, you can do everything, but only thing, it has to be an ongoing, regular process. You should have reminded your students when you get an opportunity. When you might be having meetings with the students, like parents, like in the school, parents and teachers. So you might get together and talk to your children. So when you are talking this, you can point out these things for them to remember. At the same time, write it down and put it on the notice board in your classroom. Tools for the classrooms. Just because it's a homeschool classroom, you cannot ignore. You have to have everything available on the market to supply to the students so that they can use that in their studies. It's like dictionary, atlas, encyclopedia, and lots of other things. If they are teaching maths workbooks, so they can have fun and at the same time they can learn. You can have thinking tools for the kids, musical instrument sounds, dictionary, and I have told about it, and more reference materials for the kids so they can enjoy at the same time, they can study as well. So these things will not be wasted because you can continue to use it for your other children as well. So you have to spend some money on the tools and make the tools available in the classroom. That is important. The tools that they have in the classroom should give them the mindful motivation to have the more interest, to take more interest in their work. It is better to have some reward materials as well in the classroom for you to use when it is needed. So if somebody has done it extremely well and one of your child has done extremely well, you have to reward the child so that they will be happy and they will be inspired to do the work more. And while you are having this homeschool teaching, now you are making the students to learn everything. So in the meantime, you can have slight social skills learning. You can help them, and also teach them the social skills. You can do that as well, and then teach and demonstrate high educational expectations. You got to teach them about the high educational expectations. Starting with the proper education has to. If you want your child to be educated, you have to start from the young age itself. That has to become a practice, and that has to be in their mind. So you have to, in a nicer way, you have to talk to them and put this high educational expectations in their mind. And also they have to. So one child is studying with you. That doesn't mean that the child doesn't know anything about the relationships. You have to develop the good relationships as well. All these are important for your child to learn better and better educated individual, and also they can use it for growing up as a successful individuals. Get them excited about maths. That's important. They have to be they have to be excited about the maths. That's very important as well. Teach them to try and not to worry about failing. That is important. Teach always. You have to tell as a teacher, You have to try. Genuine trial is important. You have to try it. But if you fail it, don't worry about it. You have to try again. That is the thing. They have to have that in mind. Just because of that, you have told them you can't do the exam without studying. That's not done. So they have to genuinely try, genuinely prepare themselves for everything, and genuinely study. And if the success is not there, they shouldn't worry. They have to go again and take it all over. And other thing is rules. You have rules in your house. Otherwise, you can't run a house. You have to have rules that everybody knows the rules in your house. Certain time they have to come and go to bed and things like that. Rules. And the same type of rules you have to have in the classroom as well. Otherwise, everything will be a mess. You have to have specific rules for school times. Having a set of rules that you develop with your children for their learning times is very effective. If you have rules, it will become very effective. You can't do this, you have to do this. When everyone knows the rules and why they are necessary, it is much easier to get compliance. Once you and your kids have decided on these rules and consequences of following or not following the rules, take the time to write them down and post them where they can be referenced when appropriate. You have to write down the rules and put it on the notice board or whatever it is where they can see. These are the ways you have to inspire your child to learn better. I hope you like this video. Thank you. Bye for now. I'll see you in another one. Thank you.